So this whole month, we're honoring the divine feminine, and today's topic is the holy reimagined. Yeah. You talking over there, Michael? Would you? I hear your voice.
I just liked your title.
And I just knew it was you. And I didn't even have to look up.
Thank you.
So, to reimagine something is to reinvent something, to rethink, to look at something differently. Yes? Yeah. And the holy part is the God part. The holy part is bringing God into the mix, bringing spirit into the mix. So I'm going to talk about what exactly that means today. You know, we've probably all heard the saying, if you want the same life, keep doing the same thing. If you want a different life, you have to do something different. And so that is what this is about creating something different. I like that picture. Yeah. Yeah, change. Change is happening, yes? Change is upon us here. And, you know, when I think about artists, any artists in here? Who are the artists in here? There's a few of you, yes. So, when artists create, they create from a space of nothing, but in order for them to create, they have to go into a deeper place within themselves. It isn't possible for an artist to be in their head and create from that head space, analytical space, intellectual space. If you ask any artist, once that happens, it goes flat. It's just not there. Yeah. So, and that's true for all of us. If we want to create something different in our life, if we want to give birth to something new, create something new, we have to come from a deeper place. I had the privilege of going to a concert. Peter Cater played at Nisi's here in Lafayette a while back, a very well-known piano player. And after the concert, I walked up to him boldly. I don't know how I did this, but I just walked up to him and I thanked him and acknowledged him. And then I said, "So what is your process for creating? How do you do that?" I was just curious, this man who's won, you know, awards and everything else. And he said, "It's about listening and feeling. That's the key, is listening and feeling." Yeah. And so whether you're creating a beautiful piece of music, you're writing a book, you're coloring or doing some kind of painting or any kind of artistic pursuit, or creating a vision for your life, the process is the same. It asks us to go within, to connect on a deeper level in order to get from where we are now to where we want to be. So you want to create a piece of music, and you know you have an idea of how you want to do that. It is a process of connecting, almost like channeling something through you in order for it to be created. Yes, so there's a surrendering process, there's a letting go process, and allowing it to move through. Here we go. So the other piece of this is faith. Because in order to get from where we are now to where we want to be, it takes faith. And to go back to artists for a second. So when an artist is creating, there has to be some trust in the process. Do you get that? They have to, that letting go piece, and allowing and trusting that whatever it is they're working on, whatever it is they're creating, is going to come forth at some point. There has to be faith, yes? There has to be some trust in the process. If there isn't trust, then it's more of this push-pull, and I'm trying to make something happen. And it doesn't have the same result. It just doesn't. Yeah. And, you know, when you think about your own life, and when something gets presented to you as something possible, some idea of something, and isn't it common for us as humans to only see, well, it's only going to happen this way. Only this, it's either this or this. We might have two options, option A or B. It's either this is going to happen or this is going to happen, and I don't see any other way possible for it to be any other way. And we dig our heels in sometimes, right? We have those experiences in life where we think we know, and we know like we know, and we're digging our heels in like this is the only way possible. Am I the only one that has experienced this? Okay, so you all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but in order to rethink, in order to reimagine, in order to give birth to something new, we have to come from a different energy. Yes? So I know that in this community, as we are in the midst of change and transition, and this idea of this whole satellite thing that has been presented, and some are like, yes, we have to do this, and others are like, absolutely not, it's the worst thing we could ever even think about. And so I bring this up, not from a place of attachment, because I trust and know the divine is here and guiding this community forward to be able to make a choice that is absolutely perfect for all. But the reason I bring it up is because it's absolutely perfect for this talk about reinventing and recreating. Notice when we are in that, we've got our heels in, and we are so righteous about it, whatever that is in our lives. Yes, we have to do this, and this is why, and we have all the reasons why. Or no, we shouldn't do this, and here's all the reasons why we shouldn't do this. Where is that energy coming from? If you think about it in our lives, when we're very attached to something happening, what's underneath that is fear. Fear is the energy that's underneath it. We're afraid that if we say yes to the satellite, the center's going to fall apart. If we say no to the satellite, the center's going to fall apart. Right? You're both on the same, it's the same field there. Yeah. But so notice for yourself the energy. Feel it. Like, see if you can actually feel that, whether it's the satellite idea or something else in your life. Notice how often as humans, how often we get so stuck as if that's the only option and there's nothing else that's possible. Nothing else. And we're so righteous about it. Well, I just don't see any other possible way. I just can't see it. It's not possible. How often do we say that? It's just not possible. Nope, nope, nope. Right? Yeah. And so, but here's the deal. In God, all things are possible. There is infinite possibilities with the divine. And so when you're faced with a situation like you're in right now, or whatever it is in your life, what if you let go and let God? What if you surrendered, like really surrendered? Really surrendered. Like, okay, God, I'm feeling fear right now. I can see how attached I am to this option, and I don't know how to let this go. So you then ask for guidance, and then you consciously hand it over. It's almost, you could imagine that thing in the palms of your hands and say, okay, God, I am handing this over to you. And I trust and allow your powerful presence to guide me through this, and I trust that whatever is happening is in divine orchestration. Because nothing happens by mistake. If something in your life that you're facing right now, whatever that is, know that it is absolutely perfect for your growth and your expansion as a soul. Otherwise, you would not be experiencing it. That's the truth. So it's, again, giving you an opportunity to look at, where's my energy in this? Am I digging my heels in? And what is that about? What's the fear about? What am I afraid of? What can I let go of right now so that I can move into a place of trust and allowing and surrendering. Yeah. Mark Gaffney said this: the greatest crisis of our lives is neither economic, intellectual, nor even what we usually call religious. It is a crisis of imagination. We get stuck on our paths because we are unable to reimagine our lives differently from what they are right now. We hold on desperately to the status quo, afraid that if we let go, we will be swept away by the torrential undercurrents of our emptiness. Powerful, yeah? Okay then, yeah. And so it is. Yeah. Change is hard. We resist it because of fear. We resist it because we want things to remain the same. But in order to reinvent, to give birth, to start anew, we have to let go. And to learn that lesson as human beings is, man, is it hard. It is hard, but it takes practice, just like anything, and we continue to surrender, and we continue to let go. Yeah. Life is filled with these opportunities. Life is filled with these moments. But truly, as the picture shows, right, there's an opportunity for us to tap into that deeper place, because that's where that recreation takes place. It takes place from that infinite well of wisdom that is within each of us. That light that Patrick talked about, and we talk about every Sunday, it is within us, and we can tap into that. At the end of my talk today, I'm going to walk you through a brief meditative experience to allow you to drop into your heart. That's where the answers are going to come from. If you're feeling angst about what's happening in this community, or anger, or whatever it is, that's certainly okay. I'm not saying it's bad. But in order to create something new, it has to come from deep within yourself. It has to come from in here. And it requires us to be quiet, to move into the silence, to tap into our heart, to connect with that loving presence that is there. And it requires faith, real faith. Isn't it possible that whatever you're thinking about your life right now, or whether it's this community, isn't it possible that there is some option that you have not even thought about that could happen as a result of the change that is taking place? Isn't that possible? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So I just want you to sit with that, right? So that is, and how often we go to, nope, there's no other way. It's not possible. And that's our nature. As human beings, we just do that. It's not bad or wrong. It's just what we do. But you have this opportunity being gifted to you. Truly. Whether you agree with me leaving or not, but you have this opportunity that's being handed to you. How are you going to receive that? It's always an opportunity to go deeper within yourself, always an opportunity to connect even more, always an opportunity to love even more, always an opportunity to forgive even more, all of that. An opportunity to recreate, to re-envision, to give birth. Our lives are constantly in this cycle of death and birth. If you think about it, not actual death, it's a metaphor, yes? So something is dying in order for something else to be born. And our lives are constantly going through that. And in order for it to die, we have to let it go. We have to release it in order to give birth to something new. So it's allowing it. It's surrendering to the process. You know, I've had the privilege of sitting next to people as they're dying. Not many, as I'm a new minister, but I look forward to that as I move forward. And there is this process of letting go. You have to. You know, it's just a natural process that the body goes through, and eventually they may have been resisting it for a while, and then eventually they let go. They let go. And that's the same as we look at our lives. What is it that you're holding onto so tightly that's preventing you from being able to see what is possible for your life and for this community? And just notice. Notice. What is trying to be released? What is dying so that something new can be born? And trust it. Trust. Trust what is trying to come through. God creates possibilities where there are none. That is that divine, powerful force that is always available and always accessible to us. And so, as your week unfolds, when you find yourself in that place of, I just don't see how this is going to happen. You feel the fear, you notice whatever that is for you in your life, or whether it's related to this community, and you find yourself going to that place of, nope, no, that's not going to happen, or I don't want that to happen. Stop. Go into the silence. Take a breath. Breathing is powerful. Check into yourself. What am I feeling in this moment? What needs to be released right now? Let it go. Intentionally, you let it go. You can even move it through your body, out the soles of your feet, down into the earth. If you want to go that far, you can certainly do that. What a great exercise that is. Let it go. Breathe back into your heart, connecting with that divine essence, and trusting what is coming forth to your life through this experience. Through this experience. And so, I'm going to walk you through this process. But first I'm going to read this last quote. So this one is by Paul Hawken. Inspiration is not garnered from the litanies of what may befall us. It resides in humanity's willingness to restore, redress, reform, rebuild, recover, reimagine, and reconsider. So that is what is available to us. And we always have a choice. We always have a choice as to how we see things. That is one of the gifts that the divine has given us. And what a beautiful gift that is. And so, if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. And just begin by just taking some deep breaths. Breath is very centering. It allows us to drop in. So just allow your breath to drop you into the center of your chest, into your heart, not your actual heart, but that center of your being. This is your access point to the divine. And so breathe into that. And imagine almost as though there's this beautiful circle of light, of white light, right there in the center of your chest. And this light is healing. This light is filled with all the qualities of the divine. peace and harmony and beauty and love and joy. And with each breath that you take, imagine and feel this beautiful light sparkling, expanding, growing, vibrating even more. And so just feel that. And so whatever you are feeling related to the changes taking place here or any changes in your life, imagine as though you are handing this over. You are handing it in the palms of your hands, handing it over to this light. And allow this light that is within you to envelop it, to surround it, to hold it. And breathe. And see this challenge, or see this thing, whatever it is that you're holding. See this light completely envelop it. So much so that it begins to shine so brightly. It begins to reconfigure itself into a new form, into something that is filled with infinite possibilities. See if you can feel that energy and that vibration within the center of your being. And now silently saying to yourself, I release fear. And as you say that to yourself, imagine that going through your whole being. It's going all the way through your being, down through your feet, down through the soles of your feet. Hand it over. Give it to Mother Earth. And now saying silently to yourself, I release attachment. Same thing, allowing that to move through your being. I release judgment. Breathing that one out. I release self-righteousness. Breathe it out. And I release whatever is present, most present for you right now. Fill in the blank, whatever that is for you. What do you want to release in this moment, right here, right now? Let it go. Allow it to move through your being, down into the earth. Let it go, even if it's just for this moment. Release. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I'm going to say our affirmation, and I want you to repeat it out loud after me. I release fear and allow the divine to guide me in my life.
I release fear and allow the divine to guide me in my life.
So really feel that. Feel the release taking place, and the allowance and the surrender of God's grace to guide you forward. Feel that. Taking one last breath, just breathing in that beautiful light of God, that magnificent force that is so present in all things. And we move now into prayer. Practitioners, please stand in high consciousness. And so in this space, in this energy, I recognize and know that powerful force of God that I know is always present for us in any moment, in any situation. I am knowing that whatever fear is present, whatever challenges that we are facing, whatever is coming up for us, individually, collectively, is absolutely perfect for our growth and our expansion as a soul. And so I am knowing right here, right now, that this process for each one of us is a blessing and a gift. And I am knowing that we are able to move forward with this positive expectancy, with this energy of infinite possibilities, and allow the divine to guide us through this process and to let go and release all that no longer serves us. And so I am knowing that this community is blessed. I am knowing that this community is surrounded with love. Every single person who comes in here feels that love, feels that presence. And that is here, and that will guide this community forward. And so I am speaking this and knowing this truth and holding this truth for this community. God has got this. God is behind all of it. And so I'm knowing that each person is trusting the divine unfoldment of their life, letting go of whatever is in the way and surrendering completely, trusting. And so I give thanks for this. I give thanks for this unfolding. I give thanks for the love that God is, that I know is infused and moves through, in and through and around and for every single being here. And so I let this go. I allow it to be. I hand it over to God. And together we say, and so it is.